time for us to get serious. We have crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return, and I'm confident Ripple is going to change the world of finance forever as the global banking system is transformed by Ripple and blockchain technology. As recently Ripple broke out to a new local high of $1.41, which is indicative of strong demand. And in a recent post that's been making its rounds on X, Ripple has now published the IDs to 500 banks on their website, which has left many speculating that all of these partner banks are about to shut down their old dinosaur TradFi systems and to start using Ripple technology and the XRPL. Now, whether or not this is true, which we will cover later in this video, one thing that is true is that every bank will have no choice but to bow down to Ripple, as they are not only the first to build a scalable, extremely fast, and efficient blockchain for global remittances and money transfers, but now they're poised to dominate in the next major business arena, stablecoins, which is expected to become a behemoth and grow to $3 trillion over the next 5 years. And as they state here in the article directly from their website, the combination of RLUSD, their stablecoin, for dollar-denominated transactions and XRP for cross-currency settlements ensures that Ripple Payments customers, their institutional clients, can utilize the most efficient and cost-effective path no matter the circumstance. In other words, you only need to use Ripple and XRP now. This will not only bring more liquidity to the XRP ledger, but continue to increase institutional demand for the XRP token. And already this year, we've seen 3 spot ETF filings for XRP, and that doesn't even include the ETPs or exchange traded products. But we have Bitwise, Canary Capital, and now 21 Shares is the latest to join the gang that has their institutional clients demanding XRP inside of their portfolios in a regulated manner, where these funds actually have to buy and hold the underlying spot asset of XRP. This is just a fancy way of saying XRP is going to explode. And although none of these spot ETFs have been approved yet, that is definitely going to change in 2025, because let's not forget that for 4 straight years, Ripple and XRP fought an uphill battle against a completely corrupt and arguably compromised SEC. So much so that Gary Gensler even shared on his X post that the SEC is a remarkable agency and got community noted that said the SEC is not a remarkable agency. That is how unpopular and incompetent of an agency they have ran. My theory is that the big banks were afraid of XRP. They weren't positioned like they were with Ethereum, which is why Hinman at the SEC back in the day basically stated, attached, please find a final draft of the speech I had to mention, which where he talks about Ethereum and not the needing to regulate it as it is currently offered. Yet XRP launched under the same pretenses and manner, and they felt the need to soothe and regulate them. Now, if you've been following XRP and the channel for a while, you're obviously aware that Gary Gensler was likely on his way out, but just today, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, shared this Thanksgiving he is thankful for the fact that Gary Gensler has announced on January 20th he will be stepping down as the SEC chair. And arguably this is exactly why XRP has pumped today, because most people believe we are now going to get a spot ETF. So with all this over, which likely means the banks are coming back, and here's the reality, whether or not they actually use Ripple technology doesn't even matter. They will all want their piece of the XRP token pie as it continues to outperform other major market cap cryptos, and we have a very friendly regulatory environment for XRP. And ETF or not, this price action is still hard to ignore. And guess what banks are? If they're anything, they're greedy. They are going to want a portion of those gains. So with this said, we'll cover a bit of everything we've talked about in this video, banks that are using this technology, how XRP and Ripple are better. And as always, if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the the subscribe button. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and I think this is the biggest news that the entire crypto industry, but especially Ripple and XRP, have experienced over the last 4 years, and that's the fact that today, Gary Gensler has officially announced that he is stepping down. Now, there was a lot of conjecture, there were a lot of rumors. He recently shared exactly what this was right here. It's a remarkable agency. Thanks for letting me serve. Blah, 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 blah. But what we really needed was this right here. The fact that he's going to be stepping down, and that's exactly what's happening, which has caused the price of XRP to break out above its recent local highs right here at about $1.18. Obviously, we have a wick right over here, but now we've been really rallying hard and following that trend and trajectory on an hourly and 4-hour time frame. So as you can see here, I am now on an hourly time frame. I've pulled up a 10 and 20 EMA tool, and what I like to see is not only a crossover on the 10 and 20 EMA, the 10 EMA being the blue line, the 20 EMA being the orange line. So blue line is above orange line, price is above both, and rapidly growing and expanding with some expanding volume to confirm the move. So you can see we have virtually no sell volume, and even the sell volume is relatively weak comparative to the buy volume. So this is a good indicator that this breakout above this range is truly a strong move and is confirmed to continue whether or not we get a pullback. So in moves like this, I tend to experience a pullback, and you know what's really interesting? You might experience a pullback, but it might be very weak. Like I said, a lot of folks in a previous video might have been expecting, as I was, at least a pullback to 70 some cents all the way to 80, but then after noticing or watching it a few days, I found that it looked really interesting and similar back to the breakouts that we experienced back in 2021 and even in 2017. But right around here, you can see we saw an expansion of volume, okay, before breaking out to that $2 high, essentially. Not only do we experience an expansion of volume breaking out above the recent range highs, but we only chilled out for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th day, we broke to even further highs from about $1 all the way for a 100% move yet again. Well, this time around, not only do we have the experience of hindsight and the fact that the SEC is no longer going to over-regulate through unnecessary means these crypto companies that are just trying to play ball and have clarity, but again, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 days on the breakout to a new high. And you know, any catalyst could have happened, but at the end of the day, this thing was primed to explode, considering when you look at a weekly time frame from the previous all-time high and take a drawing tool and drag it all the way through all of the major highs of the range with a bit of a bull trap here, we've officially broke above that descending wedge or triangle. So I expect this move to not only take us easily to that $2 range, but I expect over time, as we see some sort of a resistance here or sell pressure here, for us to break to that previous all-time high of about a $3.30 some cent range. But look at how explosive this volume is, and this is just on Kraken alone. We saw $675 million traded on that single week. And what's even crazier is the fact on Binance, when you look at the pair XRP USDT, we saw $10.5 billion of buy volume in a single week. So not only have we hit that third standard of deviation right over here for an insanely large volume in terms of per the week, but now we are well above average volume. So this move is truly a monster, and I expect it to continue. Now that said, if you haven't already, head on over to bullrunners.com. You can find the link in the description below to learn how to do technical analysis like the stuff I just shared with you. But not only that, right? We're talking the very rudimentary stuff. We're showing you exactly how and why things work, and sometimes we're even giving you the catalyst or news. But in this program we call Altcoin Pro University, where we have 341 members and has consistently been growing, we teach you everything we know, not only about technical analysis, but about the crypto market as a whole. We share with you 100x, 10x, 20x, 50x altcoin picks. We teach you how to think like an actual professional investor in the crypto markets. We share videos and courses with you from industry-wide experts in the field of crypto, from people that actually work at some of these blockchain companies and professional day traders and investors. We have over 100 hours of current recorded videos, and we will continue to add to the library. This is essentially your one-stop shop to become a crypto millionaire in 2025. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee you results. This isn't considered financial advice by any means, but if you're serious about making $1 million in crypto, then everything you need in terms of an educational platform is here. Not only are you going to get altcoin picks, technical analysis, you're also going to get access to DeFi yield farms that are really producing and relatively safe, as well as airdrop alerts on the newest, latest, greatest airdrops. So essentially, this is free money. If you're not making at least the money you spend every single month, then obviously this thing isn't worth it. But I believe it truly is for those of you who want to take your crypto investing seriously. That said, for the very first 1,000 members, which again, we're currently at 341, and the bull market is just getting started, people are going to get an extra bonus. And the bonuses come in the form of a crypto tax mastery course and 2+ hours of portfolio deliberation trainings. In other words, we're going to show you how to set up a successful portfolio coin by coin. Now, here's the reality. You don't have to take us up on this offer. You don't have to do it. But if you were already thinking about doing it, sooner is better than later, because we are going to hit that 1,000-person mark. As you can see daily, this thing has been growing. And all you have to do to figure out what's inside of this course is head on over to bullrunners.com. Link is in the description below. Watch this video here. And after you watch this video, if you still have questions, reach out. But I doubt you're going to, because we really do a good job of explaining everything. So thanks so much for checking this out. I will see you on the other side. And let's get back into the video. So here's what's super interesting. Back in the day, we had the SEC consistently attack one specific company, and then after that, a bunch of different crypto companies, and companies that are regulated companies inside the United States for offering securities by serving them Wells notices and regulating through enforcement versus clarity. This was a totally disgusting act by the SEC. Again, praise the Lord that Gary Gensler is officially out on January 20th, but I find it really, really interesting that blockchain technology has consistently been proven to outperform our traditional financial systems in terms of efficiency, cost effectiveness, and even now to its total amount of energy use, which is why I believe a lot of this SEC regulation type stuff was pressure from the big banks like JP Morgan Chase, as even Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Morgan, now says he won't talk about Bitcoin anymore, which he trashed it one last time. But if any of you remember, he was extremely hostile to Bitcoin over the years. At one point, he said he'd fire anyone at his trading desks who was trading Bitcoin. He said that Bitcoin is akin to a pet rock because it does nothing. He said the only real use cases for Bitcoin are criminal activities like sex trafficking and money laundering. And he completely dismissed Bitcoin as a legitimate financial product that could serve a real purpose or a use case in the world, like digital property or a store of value or a digital gold. Now, what I find so funny is while he was trashing it, I'm assuming they needed to build the right blockchain infrastructure. They wanted regulations to catch up to them and not the other way around. And so arguably they were even positioning themselves throughout the process, basically scaring the public into believing it's a terrible product, while at the same time investing into it. And whether or not they did, they were completely wrong throughout that time frame, harming the average retail investor's idea about Bitcoin, as it now recently broke to a new all-time high of $99,200. And the year's not even over yet. Now, while all of this is happening, these very same institutions and banks like JP Morgan since 2020 launched their own blockchain platform called Onyx, and even their own token called the JPM coin. But it wasn't just them. There was also BNY Mellon, there's Goldman Sachs, there's Citibank, and even Bank of America, which now holds more than 80 blockchain related patents, and that is quite impressive for any bank. However, 4 whole years passed, these banks got to get ahead, they got to build their blockchain ecosystems out, they got to develop the right partnerships, they got to snipe a bunch of great blockchain engineers out of the space as it was declining, and they could afford to do so. They did everything in their power. Now, again, this is my conjecture, this is my theory, but it totally makes sense when you had that much incompetence at the governmental level. They did everything in their power to crush the space while they themselves were building inside of it. And this caused XRP to range for quite some time inside of that 50-cent range, as you can see right back here when the lawsuit started 4 years ago till present. present day, we are finally breaking out to a local high now that Gary Gensler has officially resigned. But in that very same time frame, while they were fighting a major lawsuit with the SEC and getting delisted, Ripple did not stay silent and they didn't stop working. They actually survived one of the harshest lawsuits, spending over $150 million on their case. And they developed platforms for banks, crypto businesses, payment service providers, neobanks, and digital banks inside of their payments ecosystem. They also now acquired the right licenses in order to properly custodian money. And then they're even developing their RLUSD stablecoin, which is ready to go live. And yes, their blockchain technology is not only more efficient, faster, and requires a heck of a lot less energy, but every bank wanted to be Ripple. And Ripple right now is consistently outperforming many banks in terms of its own stock, XRP, relative to the stocks of many of these major banks. Now on the news of whether or not 500 new banks are added to the XRPL, I think this is mostly conjecture and a bit of excitement in theory from the community. As Wrath of Kahneman, who is a strong analyst in the space, even shares that he doesn't want to dim any good vibes. However, having 500 bank codes doesn't mean anything other than having 2K email addresses in your Gmail account means that you have 200 signed partners, or 2K signed partners. So think about it this way. Just because I have a boatload of contacts in my phone doesn't mean that I have a bunch of deals with every single contact. Most of the time I just have access to them, but that doesn't mean we're consistently staying in touch or in business together. That said, I do believe the list of growing banks and partnerships is going to explode in 2025 under a new regulatory body, under a new presidency, and because they have the right framework in place. Banks are going to want a piece of the XRPL and the XRP token. So my theory is, as XRP gets listed on more and more exchanges, as it gains more attraction and attention, and as we have a crypto and innovation friendly environment inside of the United States under the new leadership, XRP is primed to skyrocket and put some insane highs for the year. Now that said, I have to go to older charts to show you, but I do believe we're going to go above this $3.30 some cent range and likely break into that $5 territory this bull market cycle, which really is not that big of a gain when you really think about it, but it's big enough to provide confidence in this asset, and that's still 266% up from here. Now I get what you might be thinking. XRP is going to go to $10, $14. Maybe that does happen. It would have to be an insane market cap. And although I'm not saying it's impossible, what I am saying is likely very possible is a $5.25 target, just based on the tokenomics and the amount of money currently inside of the crypto space. So one last time, if you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. And also, while you have the chance, head on over to bullrunners.com to check out Altcoin Pro University, which is your one-stop shop to learn how to become a crypto millionaire by 2025. If you're truly committed and a student of the crypto game, this is the one platform for you. And although I explained it earlier in this video, this 26-minute video shows you exactly what you get on the other side. So go to bullrunners.com. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time, my friend. Goodbye.